into a nightmare. I did give a scenario of what happened last year. Broke my heart. Today, we're joined by a seasoned traveler who is here to help us take back control. She'll also be sharing how to become a pro at booking your own trips and dishing out tips on crafting a custom itinerary that fits your unique vibe as well as budget. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Puleng. How are you?
I'm good. I'm talking to Siyamthanda, who is an avid traveler, and she is not even in SA. This is Tembi, who is going to be talking to me. Pardon me. Okay, Tembi, hi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good. Which part of I hear you're not even in the continent at the moment. Where are you at?
I'm currently in the United States. I live in the United States. I'm based out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, Tembi. One of the biggest, wildest dream of mine is to go to Vegas.
Oh, it's beautiful out here. You would love it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into successfully booking our travels. It can be daunting, especially when you've got so many options, because you want like the best deal, and you want to travel to the best destinations, but also you want to stay at the nice places. And with the internet, how do you know for sure that what you're seeing is what you get? What are the top tips to consider when I think about booking a vacation?
I think one of the biggest things is to pick your destination strategically. Like, ask questions like, what is the best season to go? And that, you know, consider things like the weather during that time of year and the prices. Is it peak season? Is it off peak season? Also, if you're traveling alone, is it safe for solo travelers? Do I need a visa or vaccines? And so for that, I would go to resources like Visa HQ for that. That is a great resource and it's accessible to South Africans as well. But
Mm-hmm.
also the countries that also are visa free or visa on arrival travel for South Africans, because that typically, like, the visa process can add up the costs very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
And also, setting a realistic budget depending on all of those, like considering all of those factors, and make sure to add at least a 15 to 20% buffer for any like surprises or
Mm.
emergencies that arise. The biggest ticket
Yeah.
items are usually the flight and accommodation, and everything else depending on where you are. Like countries like Thailand, for instance, like you get a lot of bang for your buck. The South African rand goes a long way.
Mm. Mm. No, what's very important is that there will be unforeseen expenses. Don't just
Yes.
go with what you have budgeted for. Especially when you're
Oh
so far
yeah.
away from home, that can turn out to be very nasty. So, for someone that is considering then giving an agency a chance, because some people haven't even traveled and they don't spend time really chasing or trailing these agencies on social media, but because of maybe having a credible reference, maybe someone has posted on their page before, how do I check for legitimacy?
I would honestly Google them and also be sure to read recent reviews, not just the five-star ones, because you know the ratings. Some of these agencies will pay for ratings and they will say, "Oh, we'll give you this for that," or "We can give you a discount on this if you write us a review on Google," and that can, make most people to write, things that are not even true about these agencies. Google is your friend, and also read the reviews. Um, and as a rule of thumb, don't just hand over your passport unless you are at the appointment. If it's a country where you are required to have a visa appointment and get your visa embossed into your passport, but don't just hand over your passports. There are legitimate agencies like Visa HQ, like I've mentioned earlier. And just as also another rule of thumb, like passport validity, always make sure you have at least 6 months on the back end. So like before expiration, it has to be more than that before you travel. And also travel insurance is non-negotiable. If these agencies are not offering that, as much as you can, try and avoid. They offer no protections when emergencies do come up. Um, and if a deal sounds too, it probably is too good to be true. But also these pay now or lose it pressure, those are usually the fly by night. Will take off with your money.
Yeah. And for someone that is saying, okay, let me do this DIY style, where's the best place to start their search?
I would say when you get on, look at look at your budget, look at how much flights, accommodations, and all of those things will cost, and then use reputable like platforms. Like you can't go wrong with booking.com, hotels.com, even Airbnb. You can get some really good deals on there. Like if you, especially if you bundle up your things, or you do flights and accommodations, or like accommodation and car rentals, or flights and car rentals. Those are typically good packages, but with these companies, they usually have insurance that is already attached because um, they have a lot to lose
Yeah.
if things go wrong. So I would go with like booking.com, hotels.com, even Airbnb. And then for experiences, once you get to these countries, because people also, once you land at the airport, there's people with placards that are offering tours and this and that. I would go with either Get Your Guide or TripAdvisor, and also book through those platforms, because then if things go wrong, then you can take it up with your credit card company and dispute those transactions, or you can go directly through the company and not just the through the app, and not just the company that offered the tours. So those in that offer up those protections, as well as, again, I cannot stress this enough. If you are unsure, especially about visa processes, and if you're going to need vaccines or things like that, Visa HQ, great resource.
Tembi, please say that again. I think you just dipped for a bit.
Um, Sorry. The what would you like me to repeat? Which part?
You were talking about things to know about vaccinating for a certain country and stuff like that, and you said something about Visa HQ. Is this a site for clarity?
Visa HQ, yes, they are an online agency that offers visa services. They will walk you through. You can type in, input whatever country you want to travel to, and state what passport you hold, where your country, what country your passport is from, and it'll give you all of the requirements. So things like if you need a visa, and they also, I think, they offer travel insurance as well. Please, 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 please get travel insurance in case emergencies arise. It could be, traveler's insurance cover, things like your flight, your accommodation, if, emergencies come up, or even health or medical emergencies if you're in a foreign country. Also, organize your documents. Make sure you have either on your cloud, or take screenshots, whatever you need to always have numbers and confirmations for bookings for hotels, flights, and even excursions and all of those experiences. And also, passport validity. Make sure that you have at least 6 months more valid beyond the trip that you're taking. And also double check if the country you're traveling to requires you to, have a vaccine, whether it's for, some countries require yellow fever vaccines, and some of the malaria vaccines, they each have different requirements. Get on Visa HQ and input all of that information, and it'll tell you exactly what you need.
Sure, I think all of us have to have you on speed dial because this was quite eye-opening, to be honest. Because I think for some people, you think, oh, there's just so many sites that I must visit. I mean, how do I read all this fine print and all of these long texts before I could understand where they? But I think you just summarized it very, very simply for all of us, and it helps. It really, really helps, especially the organization of your documents. I always wonder for myself when I travel, must I take hard copies, which I then do, and then because I have so many papers and stuff and so many bags, I will lose something along the way, or I spill on it, and then I'm like, oh, now what am I gonna do? So you're right, back it up on the cloud, take screenshots, just have your copies in hard
Just have
copy.
everything at your fingertip. Yeah, that's always very, very helpful. And some destinations offer even all inclusive. So literally the only thing you worry about is the flights, and then the lodging. The lodging will offer like the meals in between. And so you just have to worry about, excursions, but just make sure that, it is safe. If you're a solo traveler, look up, stores. There's information at your fingertips. Google is your friend. It'll tell you exactly what parts of that country or what parts of that, state you are going to are safe for solo travelers. And if not, and you're traveling in a group, just make sure travel insurance, and you have all your documents in one place where you can access them in case of any emergency.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we should definitely bring you back
Oh,
also mid-year, because then for those that have started their savings and they may have Q&As and stuff like that, but they can also go on social media and have a direct conversation with you. What are your social media handles?
oh, I would love to. My social media is at Lihlekwele91. That's at Lihlekwele on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's LIHLECELE91. And then on Threads is it's the same, Lihlekwele91. And then on Twitter it's Twele_Lihle X. Now X.
All right. Thank you once again. Have a fantastic day going forward. This was really, really needed. All right.
Of course. Thank you so much, Puleng, for having me.
And we wrap it up nicely on that note. Let's go to the news. Thank you so much, Lihle, on our DIY booking your own travel successfully. When we come back, so much more coming your way. Let's go to the news.
SABC News.